Alright, I have an awesome game here. I'm hoping that the replay succeeds. I didn't get an archive of the game, so I have to make do with the one that's currently cached on the site. Hopefully it works. We'll see. I lose the die roll. I'm playing Edric with some modifications based on what Nate has come up with lately. Mainly remove days, a couple of conditional cheaper counters for some longer term power. I have a Squirrel Nest in here to synergize with Opposition and Clamp, and Edric, of course, as well as with Earthcraft. So if you hit those two cards together, it's game over. Additionally, I'm playing with the untap Prophet guy, the blue-green guy, just giving him a try. He may be a little bit expensive, but also has some potential to swing and win games. Anyway, serviceable draw, not particularly fast, and but Kiki is a slow commander, unless of course they draw Soul Ring or Mana Crypt. He's going first. Land, Soul Ring, of course. You might have guessed the pattern here. I would say probably a good 75% of the replays I post begin with this opening, just because Soul Ring is so degenerate. It can give any deck a very solid chance of beating you. So I draw Jete, which is pretty fantastic, given how good it is against Kiki. And it gets even better when I see him play Palladium Mirror and no mountains. So, focus of the game shifts to stall as long as possible to hopefully draw artifact removal, or at least to deploy a creature to Jete up. But I'm going to lapse whatever his next play is. And there it is, Simulacrum 2. I swear to God, like every time I play Kiki, they just always draw this creature, and it's so insane in Kiki. I like to talk about how there are specific cards that are at their best in particular decks, and I would say that Kiki Mirror Breaker, Solemn Simulacrum is the best, or is at its best in the Kiki deck. It's actually like one of the few cards that actually makes this deck pretty good, I think. I'm going to lapse it with full intention on forbidding with buyback if he casts it again. Sure enough, no mountains. So I don't see long-term value in Pierce, and I don't even have a creature for Unified Will, so the rest of this stuff is all part of the Jete plan. So we're going to do that. Draw Mystical Tutor, which is quite a nice card right now. I love Sylvan Ranger. I can go get another land, play the Jete. So the plan here, of course, is to upkeep, tutor for Nature's Claim, kill the Soul Ring, equip Sylvan Ranger, attack, kill Palladium Mirror, destroy 4 of his mana in 1 turn. That's probably game. So he plays Monolith, 6 mana, Desperation play, duplicate on a 1/1. At least the guy knows what he's doing, and he recognizes how dangerous this situation is for himself. So I respect this play quite a bit. It's one of those ballsy plays that I admire. Like, kind of out of the box thinking, basically figuring, you know what, got to do it, even if it means that I'm using a Grim Monolith to kill a 1/1. But I'm still going to do the claim plan, kill the Soul Ring, and my intention is to eat up Palladium Mirror next turn. He's got another 3 mana guy, Sharpshooter. Very strong against me. And I probably would have actually attacked and killed the Sharpshooter, just hoping he doesn't draw another mountain, or at least he doesn't draw anything important. Figuring I can kill the Palladium Mirror next turn, I really want to bump this thing off. But the Sylvan Library really changes it a lot. Because normally I don't have access to any other creatures right now, so I don't have an output for the Jete. However, with Sylvan Library, that all changes. So that changes my plan entirely here. I'm going to cripple his mana. And so even though that means Goblin Sharpshooter kills off Arayo, I'm totally fine with that, given that he's down to a single mountain. Plus, I can't really risk him drawing another land and being able to untap the Grim Monolith. And he does draw a land right there, too. So it was the right move for sure, even though I lost my guy. He casts Partic Miner. Total shit card, but I guess in Kiki, it's something of a kind of semi-lock to get rid of one or the other. Attacks for 1. I see City. It's good stuff. That's going to allow me to cast Edric and Forbid. He just says done. So I get Royal and Bird. Alright, and I'm about to make a really bad mistake here. I didn't really think through what he would do here if I equipped and attacked. But this guy's live, and what I figured he'd do would be to just chump with his duplicate. But I guess the correct play actually is for him to chump with Partic Miner and before I can get Jite counters, sack the miner to make me not play a land, and then he can shoot Edric, untap and shoot Edric again, which really screws me, actually. I actually considered here just casting Into the Royal with Kicker on the Sharpshooter, but I'm actually kind of glad I didn't do that, because if I do that, he just does that trick anyway. But my mistake here was not playing the land before I attacked. That was really, really a dumb move, and it actually winds up really changing this game in a second here. I just didn't even think about that, because I want to be able to Into the Royal, probably to protect Edric, actually. And if I do that, I'm figuring, okay, 2 mana to cast Into the Royal, and then I play the command tower, and I can forbid on his turn again. But not if he sacks Bardic Miner. So he definitely outthought and outplayed me here. He shoots my guy. I guess he doesn't even declare a block. He just untaps. He shoots again. So I just didn't even factor in the whole sacking Bardic Miner and untapping Sharpshooter. It's a good play by him again. So I bounce my guy, and I'm like, okay, well, that's fine. Bardic Miner's gone. His guy's permatap now. And I'll just play land and... oh. Shit. Yeah, bad news. Bad times. Really, really just overall a bad play. Probably should have... I don't know. I didn't cast my bird here because I was planning on using it for forbid food. So he hits another land. And now things get really ugly. Lightning Crafter. God, if there was a card that I wanted to forbid with buyback, it's this thing. Perma Edric Killer. I have no answer to it at all. Can't, effectively shuts off the Jite, and I'm at 23 too. So it's a real threat to my life total, especially if I use Sylvan more. So I draw a Prophet, which is quite interesting. Cradle, land. I'm just going to leave the Cradle away, or toss the Cradle away and just reshuffle, because I can't just throw life away now, given that he's got this guy in play. Yeah, Kiki Jiki doesn't tend to have any burn, but this thing kind of changes the equation. So this is a really, really tough spot. All of my guys get killed by this. In fact, I don't really have anything in the deck that can survive it. So I'm just going to play it and equip it. Just bad news all the way around. He just does nothing. Doesn't even like try to force my hand or anything. Like if I'm him right here, I just put the pressure on. You know, make me uncomfortable. Don't just sit there. So at end of turn, I flash out Edric. Force and Cradle. Really, really bad situation there. I gotta just take them both here and go to 10, even though my opponent has Lightning Crafter in play. That's like 3 taps of a guy in 1 sack land. No answer. I'm just desperate here. So I think for a long time about this play. If I attack with just him, then it's just a no-brainer shoot. If I attack with both of them, then he blocks Edric and shoots the other guy. And that's no gain. That's even worse. So if I throw... he's going to kill one either way. So I figure like at least force him to kill the one that I can recast. So that means putting Jite onto Edric and attacking with just him. Sure enough, he blows him up. Plus I can just recast with the Cradle and all these guys. I can just recast Edric at the end of the turn for a while to keep him busy. So I'm just doing that because all my mana is going to untap. End of turn, he untaps his Grim Monolith. Just thinking his turn 3 plays a Mind Stone. So we're going to put a bird out there. And the reason I'm putting out bird is, even though I lose some forbid food, I don't expect to be forbidding anything on his turn anyway, and I'm going to be able to hit the Sylvan again. But it's if I draw something like Natural Order, which would be fantastic right now, or if I draw Opposition. I don't know, there's a lot of things I could draw. I could draw Sword as well. So Soul Ring, 2 land, totally awful again. I gotta just reshuffle. God, the Sylvan's so good though because of that. Alright, so we're just gonna make the same play again. Oh no, I'm doing this, that's right. I thought for a long time about just doing the same play and having him kill Edric, and then flashing it out at the end of the next turn while trying to develop more guys, but I decided I just want to, even if it means I lose a creature, I really, really want to just draw a card here. Just trying to get something going. This allows him to block. I sack. He shoots Edric. But at least I can float mana and replay Edric before it dies. I get to draw. Yes. So glad I reshuffled and sacked my guy. Trade him for a forest. Dire straits here. 3 taps of this guy kills me now. So brutal. So he plays Batter Skull, and this is a no-brainer forbid. Come on, something good. Alright, Witness. So looking at my graveyard here, Witness seems to solve this problem pretty well. I can't really take any life here, so I'm just... Oh, that's right, I do take another 4. Reason being I just want more forbid food. And I don't really see my life total mattering here. He doesn't really have the luxury of just shooting me with Lightning Crafter if I equip. It's kind of an interesting situation where I can go to 5, where he could just shoot me, untap, shoot me, but because of Jitte, I'm still safe. So I play Edric, or I play Eternal Witness to go get into the Royal. We're going to do that with Kicker, and I know that there's a... I love having the pedal on top, which gives me security in knowing that I can at least play it if I need to. So he's going to tap to deal 3 to Edric instead of me, which I completely understand. And there's the sharpshooter, and I really regret sacking my Prophet now. I mean, I guess it mattered ultimately because it allowed me to effectively cycle a card at the same time, and allowed me to buy back the forbid, but at the same time, having to tap out here, kind of painful too. So I equip an attack. He blocks correctly. And that allows me to get rid of that dude. 1 counter on the Jitte. And I can still forbid with buyback using these 2 cards. Very dicey situation, but starting to look a little bit better. Jiki. Kiki, no. Yeah, it wouldn't have been crazy actually to let that go, given that I've got the Jitte in play. I don't know. It wouldn't have been horrible to do that, because I can just bump it off with the Jitte. I'm not sure if forbidding with buyback there made the most sense, but I did it. He has Manic Vandal, which makes me look really bad for countering the Kiki. Because I need this Jitte to win the game. Oh yeah, I get Hinterland Harbor, Mana Crypt, Square Ranger. That's another change I made. I took out the 1/1, the Quarian Ranger, for this guy, because this guy's pro blue and he flies. And those 2 things together just seem better. And he's got flash too. I've seen this guy matter in enough games that Nate has played, blocking random things, that I think it's probably just overall a stronger card. Really good example of just sacking a little bit of speed for power. I just wish it was an elf. It should be an elf fairy. That'd be cool. So I'm going to play him. Untap. This generates a lot of mana, which is nice. Edric comes down for 9 mana. And here we go. Attack. Drawing a card, that Harbor, and getting counters on the Jitte. It's now at 3. So I'm looking pretty good here. I mean, I guess he could recast Jiki, which isn't the end of the world. I've got 3 counters on the Jitte now. I can start gaining life off Jitte and using it to Sylvan, removing blockers. I mean, what's the worst thing that could possibly happen? How about that? God damn it. Oh, so brutal. Inferno Titan crushes, killing Edric again, and the Scrib Ranger. So brutal. Now Edric's got 4 counters on him. He costs 11. And I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 exactly. But only 3 counters on Jitte. Enough to punch through here, but not enough to do anything else meaningful. Come on, Sylvan, deliver me. And I know Crypt's on top. Soul Ring is on top, I knew. And there, Tezzeret. Tezzeret, the lifesaver. Alright, so I thought for a little while about actually getting Metamorph here. Metamorph is quite interesting because I can put out Metamorph and I can get my own Inferno Titan, and between that and the Jitte, I can just outright kill the Inferno Titan just right now and get 2 counters back on the Jitte. That seems like a very reasonable play. The only problem is that he's playing mono red, and he's shown that he's got buttloads of artifact removal. So if he's got artifact removal, I'm kind of going all in on that play. It's a little too sketchy, so I'm going to go with something a little bit safer here. which keeps Tezzeret in play. I'm going with Sword of Fire and Ice. Plus, it draws cards, of course. And I really, really need a counter. And there's a lot left in the deck. I've got Counterspell, Cryptic Command, Mana Drain, Unified Will's gone, I guess. Remand is good even right now. And, yeah. Anyway, we're attacking. Bang. Draw a card. Deal 2 and I get Bloom Tender. Let's just kill the Inferno Titan. Look at that. God, look at the threats I've dealt with this game with Edric. And I'm throwing the equipment onto the bird, too. Because Kiki Jiki has haste, and I don't want him flying in, running in and killing Tezzeret. And he might have other haste creatures, too. These decks tend to play a lot of them, actually. So he's tapping mana. Saxus Mind Stone. Scrap Melter. God, annoying. I kind of actually, I really kind of want him to kill the Jitte over the Sword of Fire and Ice. I really think I want the Sword of Fire and Ice more just because it draws cards and it makes my guys invincible. But he goes for the Jitte, which is kind of nice. So I get to go to 6. Spiketail. Very, very nice. Priest of Titania Squirrel Nest. So awesome, especially because I didn't get the Metamorph, so I have 1 counter left on Tezzeret. And there's 1 magical artifact in this deck that costs 1. Well, first we're going to draw. Get the Spiketail. Squirrel Nest. Drake. There it is. The Clamp. So you make a guy. Clamp it. Make that guy. Clamp him. Really, really just trying to get a counter spell here, and my deck is not cooperating. But this is going to be pretty tough for him to fight through. Play an elf. And equip there. And I really, I think, should have probably just clamped the elf right now, given that if it's 2 more cards, and if I get to untap with the Skull Clamp in play, I probably win the game. Let's see what he does. Imperial Recruiter, not too scary. He's just drawing all of the typical Kiki Jiki combo cards. All these guys combo really well with it. I definitely like his deck. Sting Scourger. And he's probably looking at my board thinking, there's not really anything of quality to bounce here. Gave a little bit of thought to countering this thing with the hatchling and decided ultimately it didn't really matter. That's fine. He can't even attack because of Sword of Fire and Ice. Here we go. Snapcaster. Excellent. Merchant Scroll, Brainstorm. God, sometimes the deck delivers. This game was just Sylvan all the way. So I don't feel safe paying life and going to 2. It could give him an opening to win with some random card like a Lightning Bolt. So these 2 cards are pretty superfluous. So Brainstorm gets all of them. Gets pretty much everything. Draw 3. Put back the land and the Shaman. And here we go. Snapcaster. What do you get, folks? Let's go take a look here. Can I open up my graveyard? There it is. What do you get, folks at home? There's only 1 card in here that I care about, in my opinion. And it is... There's a lot of candidates. It's that guy right there. Mystical Tutor. Because Mystical Tutor is Regrowth. And Regrowth is Tezzeret. And Tezzeret attack is checkmate. Game over. Just like that. What an awesome game. This is one of the best games I've played in weeks and weeks. Not that I've played a lot in weeks and weeks, but of the games I've played, this game was just spectacular, I think, in terms of how swingy it was, what I overcame at the beginning, all of the crazy things that I had to overcome over the course of the game, like so many different threats at so many different stages of the game, and being able to fight through all of them and triumph at 6 life. Really, really fantastic game, and pretty proud of it. Oh, and it's my birthday today, in case any of you guys care. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that game. 19 plus minutes long. Very satisfying. I will record more soon. Take care.